each other and doing that.
Sorry, I just hit record because some people cannot make it. So I'm asking everyone what brought them here in this very moment of time tonight when they could be doing a bazillion other things. And so Alyssa is our first one answering that. Thanks, Alyssa. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, connecting with community and just supporting each other and not slipping into fear. And I have felt really surprisingly calm, and I think utilizing tools that, you know, we can actually share with each other is helpful. So I think this is important work, and I'm in it for the long haul. So that's why I'm here.
Awesome. Tirza, you're next in this little lineup of cute faces.
I would say what brought me here was just kind of to just do this collective gathering, since we're all trying to do social distancing and stuff. So I thought bringing people together, thank you for this. It helps us, you know. I think one thing that I've heard from people in Italy, because I have some friends that are there, that they do feel very lonely and separated. And if this is going to happen to us, we should all come together in this kind of format where we get to see each other in this way and share how we're feeling. And I'm probably feeling a little more fearful because, as you know, I own a retreat business, and I am really, I mean, I'm going to be honest, I'm a little worried about money, you know, at this point. Like, what's that going to mean for me in the future if this ends up lasting a long time? And so I just feel like I need support and community to know that things are going to be okay, and we're all here for each other.
Yeah, big time. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think all of the things that we're saying are actually stepping stones to solutions that we will discover together, whoever wants to continue meeting, you know. And that was kind of the pulse to do this tonight. Leia or Laya?
Leia.
Leia. Okay, is this Leia Love?
Yep.
Okay, great. I'm still getting accustomed to how you spell your name. Leia. Okay, awesome. So you're next in this little lineup of what brought you here tonight.
What brought me here is to pray. The world really needs to hear our prayers right now, and I feel that prayer is powerful, that it's a way of communicating beyond this third dimensional reality and asking for assistance from our spirit helpers, and really knowing that there's a higher power in charge that's really taking care of everything, even though it may look like chaos and it may look scary, and just knowing that there is, we don't need to be afraid of what's happening right now, that we can gather, whether it's virtually or in our homes, and really support each other in our communities. And I feel like we're going through a lot of tests right now of faith, and you know, a lot of things come into question about security and finances and whatnot, but just trusting that this higher purpose of all of this happening right now is going to really work out and take care of all of our needs, and just surrendering to what we don't need and the purification that's happening right now. So that's why I came.
Yeah. Excellent. Let's see. How about Jen and Andy? What brought you here? Hey, Katie. Welcome.
So maybe a couple reasons. One might be that I just have whatever innate calmness, knowing, I don't know, that we're gonna be fine, that we're gonna make it, that this isn't necessarily as detrimental as it seemingly could be. And I definitely get the money piece too. I mean, I touch bodies for a living. That's how I pay for things. And so far, I'm still doing okay. I've had one person cancel, and I just want to spread that in whatever way, just showing up even virtually, spreading that as a possibility for someone else to know that that is available, and just community. I mean, yeah, when you're less social than you normally are, there's a draw to connection, and this is totally a way to do it. I can't touch you guys, but I can see your smiling faces and hear your amazing voices. Yeah, and us doing this is contributing to everyone around us as well. So thank you so much for doing this, Tenley, and everybody that's here.
Yeah, it takes all of us to do this. I can talk to myself all day long, but I do. There's power of prayer when we get together. And in fact, I want to just tell a little story that really up to my faith in the power of prayer. So I have an amazing Tibetan Buddhist center that I go to every year in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and it's considered the mothership of Vajrayana in the USA because it's one of the original, and it's just a powerhouse place. So anyway, for 30 years, it's been a place, I call it a prayer factory because it's just such potent, like some of the greatest masters of Tibetan Buddhism have been there and bestow this profound lineage that has been prophesizing this very time. So Tibetans have been practicing for hundreds and hundreds of, even thousands of years, preparing for this very now that we are living in. It's pretty incredible. So anyway, it's in Santa Cruz Mountains. It's surrounded by redwoods, very thick forest. And there was a forest fire, and it just ran over the mountains, but it went around the property line. So if you go with me, I will show you. There's the property line, and the trees on Pema Oseling's side are not touched. The very next trees, not on the property line, are singed in black to this day. So, and the fire just went like, blazing, and then woo, and then continued its path. So that is always a really great visual, like tangible reminder of the power of prayer. So I really believe in what we're doing here tonight. Glenn Haupt, you're the next guy on the lineup. What brought you here tonight?
I want to just echo one thing that Jen said. It's like I've been very calm through this, and I don't think it's been one of. I just see so much reaction in fear and panic in people, and I know this is a virus that it's packing a punch, right? But I mean, I haven't been to the grocery store to get food, and it's just. So I just want to come together with everybody and pray for everybody to be calm, and that it's going to be all right, and that we need to, spend some time apart, and it's okay. For me personally, my challenge is that I'm a facilities manager and I work with 200 people a day, and I don't have an option to stay home and be separate from my work and the people that I support. So I pray for that, that we will do our best to practice safe social distances at work, and practice good hygiene. And I have a daughter to come home to, and I just want to keep her safe. So And I feel like that it's going to be okay. But I just wanted to come here tonight and share the uh, the power of prayer as a group, to get that collective energy going in our community.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So yeah, just saying, this is recorded. I'll post this on my Facebook note that I had going today. So if anyone that you would like to share it with tomorrow, I'll make sure that gets out there tomorrow. Lali, you are the next on my little lineup here of what brought us here tonight. Now we have two more, and then we'll dive in and embrace all these prayers we're putting in.
Okay, well, hello, beautiful people.
Hi.
Hi. I'm so happy to hi. I'm so happy to be here with all of you. There's two reasons I'm here. One is prayer. I'm really looking forward to just getting down dirty and praying hard with y'all. And then the other one is that I'd like to share what a person on the front lines at St. Charles said to me today. She is on the absolute front lines in a real pivotal way. And she gave me some information that I have spent basically almost this whole day sharing with friends, getting it out to people. So I'd like to share that at some point.
Definitely. Yeah, we'll do shares after. And if for some reason I forget, jump in.
Okay. Yeah, but for now, I'd just like to say one little thing, which is that a kind of a flip the script idea came to me, which is instead of calling it social distancing, for us to think of it more as physical distancing and community embracing.
I like that.
Say it again.
Physical distancing and community embracing.
Right.
Like we are what we're doing right now. We're engaging community wise.
Totally, we're embracing.
Because the social distancing kind of takes all the connection off the table, and we're not going to let that happen.
Mm-mm.
So that's it. That's my share.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we'll do one more. Katie, do you want to share what brought you here tonight? If you're inspired.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, like what a lot of folks have already said, continuing to maintain and even build more connection. There are a number of you I don't know.
Yeah.
And so just
Thank you.
looking for opportunities for the web to grow. And also prayer for sure, and action. So prayer, action, and action are all interrelated for me through this time. And certainly personally, I'm open to getting solace wherever I can find it. I have no restrictions on where that might come from, because that's going to fuel me in the moments where I do feel really anxious and I do feel afraid, and because I don't know what's going on, or what this will look like. Even though I have a deep connection to something larger, there's the very real human mom part of me that has those very real emotions. So the whole span of it. So just having a circle where that's welcome, and to engage, so that I might drop deeper into prayer through the waves. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. So we have two more ladies that recently jumped on, but we're going to come to you after we dive in. So when we go into prayer and the visualizations, I find it's more valuable if you close your eyes. And so I invite you to close your eyes now, and I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. Or actually, if you want to mute, I'm going to help you mute. There we go. So that way it's really quiet in your space. And you can just relax and trust that we are held by something so much greater. Our ancestors knew this time was coming. The ancient wisdom traditions of this planet all over the world, every continent, have known this time is coming. This is not like a surprise. Maybe it is to the modern world, but to those traditions that built their traditions, built their culture on prayer and deep connectivity to the earth and the cosmic cycles, the cycles of time. All of those cultures knew this time was coming. So part of us going into prayer is tuning into that deep, intuitive, ancient part of ourselves that also remembers and knows how to connect in to deep sources of wisdom, intuition, and a way to navigate from your truth. Your truth, the one that is deeply connected to your soul. What brings you here? There is no accident that you chose Kali's Yuga peaking. This is the peak of Kali's Yuga. This is the Yuga when what we've known on this planet is transforming. And so it is no accident you have come at this profoundly pivotal time to make her and his story. So just dropping into your belly, into your seat, and starting to lengthen your breath in and out the nose. Sinking into this moment where we connect deeply with ourselves, with those of us who showed up here tonight, and trusting that this prayer time with those of us here is actually rippling so far beyond what our minds can comprehend. This prayer ripples out and wide. And the more present we can be, the more sincere with it, the more strength the prayer has, the more power. So long, luscious breaths in and out the nose. With the in, we're drawing in fresh, powerful energy and light and vitality, wellness, letting it permeate throughout the body. And on the out breath, imagine dissolving any discursive thoughts, stresses, illnesses. And you can just do that back and forth, in with the vitality, out with the distractions, at your own pace and grace. So allow yourself to relax a little bit more in your lower back. Maybe you feel a little heavier in your seat, and wiggle the legs a little bit, the toes, feeling the lower body connected to the earth, the waist, putting both hands on the belly, inviting the belly to be soft. So a lot of times when we're in stress, the energy and awareness goes up into the head and we forget about our lower body. And we get totally disconnected from our root and our ground and our connection with the earth. The belly may contract, we get nervous, everything starts tensing. So we want to breathe into the belly, softening belly. You could maybe even rub belly nicely. Go ahead and maybe caress thighs to knees. If you're cross-legged, hands to feet. But connecting the lower body to your seat and to the earth. Then we're going to leave one hand on the belly, really feeling that nice connectivity of a full, soft belly. And we're going to take the other hand to the heart. And a lot of times when we have pressures or anxiety, the heart is kind of out of the chest. It gets nervous and it starts getting a little exacerbated. So we're going to take that other hand and very lovingly caress the heart and soften the chest, and literally the rib cage, the chest, heart area softens and relaxes. And you're helping with the hand to soften the heart, soften the adrenals. And you can do nice little either movements or caress or just soft, gentle press. And send that softness and nurturing all throughout the nervous system into the mind. And you can allow the face to relax, the shoulders to relax, and invite everything to relax. Even the eyeballs relax back and down into the skull. And you can feel the skin on your head starting to relax. Everything's just relaxing under that hand at the heart. At any moment when we start getting ahead of ourselves, when the heart starts running forward, you could always just take the hand to the heart, soften it, hand to belly, soften it, find your legs and feet, and come back to breath. That's a really good tool for us to have right now. So the hand on the heart is going to slide down those energy centers below the heart. So there's the will center, there's the second chakra, there's the root, and we're going to just do a few caresses, hand to heart, down to the belly, and start grounding and doing the same thing, soothing those lower energy centers. Those are the ones that really connect us with the earth. You can do just a couple times of that. Hopefully your whole system is starting to soothe and soften a bit. And then when you're ready, you can let the hands caress the thighs to the knees and just relax. So from the heart, we are going to imagine a beautiful root, like the root system of a tree, reaching down through these lower energy centers, wheels of energy called chakra in Sanskrit. And so from the heart, this really grounding, bright root, bright light root is going to go through the lower energy centers, down, 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 past your seat, reaching down wider than your body with a variety of beautiful roots, reaching through the layers of the moist and fertile earth. You can feel the nourishment as your imagination reaches your roots through the layers of the earth. You can even feel the roots moving through your legs and feet, deepening and grounding into the earth. And you're going to keep allowing that root or roots to reach all the way to the center of Gaia, where she has this pulsing vitality and life force called Shakti in Sanskrit. So this vital feminine life-giving energy is pulsing in her core, and we're going to dip our toes in that life force. We're going to dip our roots and feel ourselves deeply connected with her, even though we're in our seat, in our body. Feeling ourselves supported and connected with her, as we always are, but sometimes we forget. So this is a moment to remember. And with this wonderful vitality she shares with us, it's really time for us to consciously and regularly share our gratitude and vitality with her. She is obviously aching and ill from too long of disrespect, too much time of disrespect, and it's starting to show big time. So with our power of prayer, whatever it is for you to just really give your full attention to Mother Earth right now and offering your gratitude. I mean, we're the privileged. We turn on the faucet and water comes out. We flip a switch and there's energy. We have heat in our homes. We are so privileged. We have this direct line to her abundance and generosity. And my sense is it's really time to regularly as much as we can, find ways to give back to her, to take care of her. So in this moment, just ask yourself, what's something that I could start doing? And don't struggle with the asking, just see if something shows up. And this is something to really ask a lot these days, to keep asking, what can I do to take care of our mother? So this beautiful mother of ours, who has carried our ancestry for time longer than record knows, and is now carrying us. We have an invitation to consciously and collectively be her midwives as she is moving through this painful and messy birth and death process. So ask yourself, are you willing to stand up and connect with community to help midwife Mother Earth? And maybe you'll get a clue as what that's going to look like tonight. Maybe it's something you'll continue asking. But right now, as we have our roots dipped into Mother Earth, just letting her know, we're going to take care of you. We're going to find a way to grow this global community and take care of you and midwife you, Mother. We don't quite know exactly how it's going to look, but we've got you. Thank you for all that you give us every single day. And ask yourself, can I stand up and take care of Mother? Like, seriously. How can your skills, how can your passions, how can your life that you have created be an ally and a midwife for Mother Earth and for our global community as well? So we're going to invite Mother Earth, Gaia, to send her message or her vitality, her Shakti, whatever it is that you experience. She is now going to exchange and write up those roots that you have connecting with her heart pulsing center. Is going to send all the way up those roots through the layers of her, through the rich, fertile soil, right back on up through your toes, through the space between the toes, through the feet and the arches and the ankles. She sends her beautiful vitality all the way up into your physical and energetic body, through the bones, the lower legs, the joints, into the thighs, into the blood, into the auric field around you. And you just allow yourself to naturally receive her Earth Shakti, her vital Earth feminine life-giving energy. And you may or may not feel something, that's okay, but you can just use your imagination and allow it to rise all the way into the pelvic bowl and just drench your organs with vitality and wellness, boosting your immune system and your power of self-care and vision, allowing her energy to move all the way up those energy centers, along the spine, up into the heart, illuminating the heart. Connecting with each other, our heart prayer has even more power and light, and feeling our heart connectivity with each other as one pulsing heart, as if our collective heart can align with her pulsing core. And just feeling that for a moment. What's it like if we're all connected to the core heart pulse of Gaia and each other? And allowing that heart center from all of us to just illuminate our whole entire being in all directions, 360 degrees. And then her vitality keeps moving up through the shoulders, cascading down the arms to the hands and fingers, up the back and the neck, into the skull, and right into the middle of that pineal gland, this great light right in the middle of the brain. And that turns on 360 degrees, illuminating the right and the left hemisphere, allowing them to work in tandem. and the front and back, waking up parts of the brain that are often dormant, and opening the crown to the heavens, the crown of our head to the higher intelligences, really calling on whatever it is you call them, if they're angels or guides or deities or whatever it is, the forces that are beyond 3 dimensions, that are watching us, witnessing us, here to support us now, calling them in and feeling ourselves under a cascade of their grace and blessings. So feeling yourself filled with light and prayer and vitality from the earth into our hearts, and now opening the crown and receiving our blessings from the heavens. And our body is now this bridge between the heavens and earth, Gaia. So we allow those blessings to move all the way through our body from the top to the down, right back through those roots and right back into her core. Using our body, our visual power of intention and prayer to bridge the heavens with the earth. So feel yourself really tapping into some of your greatest power and ability to pray and to hold a vision of what's possible. So this is something you can do at any time. And we're going to just keep holding this for a moment, bridging the heavens and through our body into the earth, and from the earth to the heavens through our body. And feel what it's like to be in that place of real vitality and power. And just lengthening the breath, relaxing into it. And so from this place of prayer and power connected with each other and with Mother Earth and the heavens, heavenly realm, deity realm, whatever we want to call it, God, Goddess, Spirit, bringing in your own personal prayer right now. And we're just going to be in silence and allow you to focalize and crystallize what that is. What is your personal prayer or prayers right now that you'd like to drench in this high vibration? So our next piece is to put the hand on the belly, feeling really grounded, feeling rooted in your seat, feeling the crown open and your roots into Gaia, and your belly soft, your mind soft. And then you are gently going to open your eyes and unmute yourself. And then we are going to bring in the names of our friends and family that we would like to be included in this prayer. And I know there's countless friends and family that we want to include here. So know that they are all included, but we're just going to start saying their names. So I'm going to unmute everybody and we're just going to start saying. So Ted and Judy and Jessica and Teddy. So verbally, we're going to share who we're praying for prayers.
Lauren, Matt.
And
I'm
Jean
Michelle.
and Teddy and Marky and Penny
Tadinha,
and
toda a família brasileira.
Scott, Kenzie's, Wallace,
Kirby, Amanda, Lily,
Linda,
Kathy,
Thurwood,
Rick,
Ashley, Jane,
família
Father,
Unity,
and Sarah,
netinhas,
Dad's family, Ray and Carol,
AJ,
Pippin,
and
Diane, Nancy, Christine and Charles,
friends, all my loved ones.
Doug,
Sylvia,
Drea, Shanti,
Andrea.
my neighbors, all my neighbors.
Start pulling that in, pulling in the voice, but allowing your prayer to really just go viral and see the whole planet, see where your friends are, where your family is, as if you're looking at a wall map, and see where they are, sending our prayer, and then allowing the prayer to just drench the whole entire planet, lighting up this planet with our prayer. Every person, no one forgotten, everyone included, every single one. And the ones coming that are in mothers' bellies, and the ones going that are ending their lives, like the ones coming in and going out, everyone included, no one forgotten. So I am going to, just so that it's super quiet, mute you lovely people again. So while we're in our state of prayer and visualizations, I invite you to return to eyes closed, because we're going to do some really powerful visualizing that seems to work best if we can actually close the two eyes and allow the third eye to do the seeing. So dropping into belly, getting out of the brain. The logic doesn't really apply here. We're going into our intuitive wisdom body, which is down in the belly, our gut instinct. And so a little bit about the world's prophecies, and I will definitely be putting a lot of sources out in these coming days. But as I said before, the ancients from around the world, our ancestors, indigenous cultures, Tibetan Buddhism, for example, and from all the different parts of the world have been prophesizing this time. The Mayan calendar, for example. But the interesting thing is the prophecies have led up to this point, but none of them were able to write what happens beyond right now. The Mayan calendar just ends. It doesn't write anymore. So what that means for us is we, as the visionaries, we as the storytellers, we with the ones carrying collective strong prayer, we get to write the script if we pray and move, follow through and listen and become the ones who write the script. The old system is outdated and they're dying off. Who's going to write the story? Those folks? I think we're kind of over it. So the power of prayer and the power of visioning on a collective level, asking the greater sources to guide us. That's the invitation right now, to fill in where the prophecies end, which is right now. So allow the visions of the world and the life that you have been working so hard to create. What is that? Reconnecting with the fantasies that we've had for our life, for the world that we've been wanting to live in, that we've been doing our best to co-create every day by ourselves on the hustle. What could happen if we united with shared visions, power, resources, prayers, and bring that dream, that story into this prayer? So that vision of what this world can be like, of what your life can be like, that is the invitation as we are witnessing the world as we know die. Everything in this universe is subject to the cycles of birth, life, and death. Nothing gets away from that. And so with death comes birth. So spending our time connecting with each other and visioning and following through, that's in our future as well. So you are welcome to stay in that visioning as long as you'd like. And when you are ready to come back into your prayer, bring your hands to your heart, keeping the eyes closed. Taking some really deep breaths to just let everything we've done settle in to the right place in your body, spirit, mind. Trusting that we've planted some powerful seeds tonight that we can continue watering. And as the Buddhists do at the end of prayer, it's called dedicate the merit. So any blessings that we have created tonight together, we send to every single being equally, so that all of us can free ourselves from this suffering, all at the very same time. So just sending out all these blessings that we are creating here to others. Taking some deep breaths. Letting it all integrate. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. So this is when we get to just share what's alive for us. Maybe ways that we can continue moving this prayer beyond this moment. Whatever it is, community shares. Do you want to meet again? Do we do this regularly? If yes, when? How often? So yeah. Forum is open. Unmute yourself if you'd like to share something. Hi, my Dharma sister, OG original, Kim Kuzmic. I love you. Because of Kim Kuzmic, I found my Dharma Center. So I talked about Pema Osling and the fire ring, how the fires went around Pema. Yeah, so we started our prayer with Pema Osling. Love you. Anyway, yeah, so someone jump in, anyone.
I found there was a lot of power in just naming, just calling out to those people that are close to our hearts, that we are keeping in our prayers most closely, in addition to our global community. But that was really powerful for me, and I'm going to hold that and hold space for that and continue to pray on that. So thanks for doing that. That was nice for me.
Should I just call on everybody? Everyone gets a share? Okay, let's see. So Michelle Hoffman, you didn't get to share when you jumped on. So what's alive for you, love? Nice to see you here.
Hi.
Hi, beauty.
Am I am I off mute?
Yeah, I often ask you.
I feel more centered and grounded, and I think this is a good time to do this. And I'm in if you want to do it weekly. I had almost an epiphany, like, so I hope everybody is well out there, and just keep on keeping on and sending our prayers every day, every minute. And thank you all for being here. And thank you, Tenley.
Power numbers. Glad you could make it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we'll talk about a rhythm after some shares. Let's see. I'm gonna just go around. Who was the other person that popped on that didn't get to speak? Anyway, hi, Kim. Hi, beautiful.
Hi. It's so good to see your face.
Love.
And hi, everybody. I'm so grateful that you're doing this. And, and I just knocked my laptop.
Just like that.
Yeah, and I think this needs to happen more and more and more. We all need to be gathering more and more online, because it looks like we might be in our little retreat cabins for maybe a couple months, right? Just today I heard prepare for 8 weeks. So I'm like, okay, I'm looking at it as like I've had many friends who've gone through 3-year retreat. I'm like, all right, ain't feeling sorry for myself right now. It's just like, how can I use this to further my spiritual practice and to just like really, really practice wellness and self-care and also connect with people more. And I think it's a beautiful opportunity for all of us to give our gifts online and share with each other. I just wanted to share with you, since you mentioned the fire going around Pema Osaling. I don't know if you shared what Lama Tarchin said after that. Did you?
No.
He
So
said,
Lama Parchin is the man who established it. Total high Tibetan Lama. Just been thinking of him so much today. So,
as
yeah.
high and as humble as you can be.
Oh.
But when we were talking,
too.
we were talking one time about how the retreat center down the road, which is a Christian retreat center, the fire also went around them. And he's like, yeah, JC and the Buddha, they're the dream team. and I just really love that. And for me and for me, I feel like, yeah, we have our own dream team. We all have our spiritual posse, right, of ancestors and angels and allies. And I think no matter what spiritual tradition we tap into, it's the whole point is to tap into something that helps you feel more connected. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you.
Thank you, Lama Tarchin. Oh.
Yeah.
Who else wants to share?
I will.
It's really valuable. Thanks, Alyssa.
Well, 2 things came up for me. One was today, and it was about mantra. And I don't really know a lot about mantra, but I was skate skiing, so I needed to have some form of a mantra to go for an hour and a half. And so the mantra that came to me today was, I am healthy, I am calm, I am safe. And I just, I could start crying right now because like I said it over and over, and I actually started to really believe it. Like it was an embodiment feeling. And so I hadn't really done a lot with mantra before, but today it kind of worked. So
Say it again.
I said I hadn't done a lot.
What was your mantra?
Oh, like I am safe, I am healthy, I am calm.
Great. I'm safe.
And I am worthy. And what came up with the worthiness was just like the receiving in community, like that it's going to be all right. And so that was a tool that really was really powerful for me.
Awesome.
And then the last thing I'll share is during the prayer, I had this vision of like things just crumbling, like illusions crumbling, like that we can't sort of unsee things now. Like these, that's what I was seeing, is just like whatever is not real. I mean, everyone's perception is different, but like illusions are going to disappear through this. And I actually saw it, in my prayers. That's it. That's what I got. And I think this is powerful, and I'm in support of continuing.
Wonderful. Yay. Thank you. Lali, do you want to do your share?
My share changed.
Oh,
Yeah. I, I have
power
some
of
real,
prayer, man. It just whoosh.
yeah. I still would like to offer the information I got from the frontline St. Charles practitioner, but I think I'd like to offer it more if people want to contact me, then I'll send them that information that she told me. But for
Okay.
tonight, yeah, for tonight, during the prayer, I kept envisioning a circle of women, mainly, well, I mean, people that are going to just really bring in some power around dreaming what we can be as we step past this kind of sobering time. And the sobriety is so important. I think Alyssa just said, or somebody just said, that we won't be able to go back, that we now will know so many things. And I just see that the sobriety that's going to bring is going to be where we can dream the new world from. It's just another way of saying what has already been said.
Yeah. Andy, do you want to share anything? Thank you, Lily, by the way. Wisdom keeper, you.
Aw.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, good to see y'all.
Hi.
I've been pretty grounded out at home when I've been home visiting anyway. I've been practicing, but it doesn't feel good to feel restricted. I like being able to do all the things, and I'm struggling with that side of things at the moment. But it's really good to see y'all, and
Yeah. Glad you could be here. You got a big, bright heart, this one. Yeah. Anyone else want to share anything before we transition a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I'll
Hi.
share. Hi. So for me, like others, I just appreciated the chance to go into another quiet space inside to listen. And to do that as a group is really different than doing it on my own. So I value the collective experience of that. I think what came to me was really clear of, I didn't see crumbling, but I definitely saw rising, the elevation of the most vulnerable people, where the discrepancy has been horrid, rising up. But that didn't involve necessarily everybody falling down. So it's not a dichotomy anymore. That's gone. That's leaving. And so, and not an equalizing, because that implies dichotomy. So much more of a transition. And perhaps there's some falling, but only so that the elevating can occur. So that there's much more of a woven web that spans far greater than the people we choose to be near us. And there was a great equanimity in the quality of that experience. And then I thought maybe I have a cold and maybe I should go to the doctor in the morning and get some medicine. And that I probably do not have the virus and I should get over it and maybe go get a Z-Pack. Yeah. That's the way my prayer works.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have this feeling So the practices that I love teaching people are, I tell them, it's like going to a gym and having a personal trainer. And it's like that personal trainer's like, just one more, just give it one more. And these practices, they're called practice because just like you go to the gym, you're practicing something to strengthen and build a muscle so that eventually that muscle can go to game time and like be applied, and it's no longer practice, it's being applied. And so with the yogic so-called practices or meditative practices and visioning, like you're talking about, Katie, and some of the others, our skill and our power to vision and to build our trust and our intuition in each other, the more we come and practice this together, I mean, what's the strength of our and capacity of our vision if we start doing this regularly together? So I don't know, I'm totally down to find out. Anyone else want to transition or speak before we transition? The next step is going to be, I just want to honor Ty, and I said I'd try to keep this to an hour, so we're almost an hour. My last step before we sign off, though, is talking about when and how we want to do this. But if anyone else has anything else from the prayer, Miss Kim, yeah.
Just want to say something real quick, and maybe this will help with the transition to future stuff. I don't know if you caught that Lama Siltram Alioni led an online meditation today, but she's phenomenal. She's one of our mutual teachers.
She was my very first Buddhist teacher, again, thanks to Kim.
Yes.
Really, would you mind putting that on my Facebook page? Do you mind?
I'll do that. I'll totally do that. So here's the good news. So she just led a meditation today called Feeding Your Demons. It's all about
fabulous.
Processing. She she led everybody through a method of moving through your fears using this feeding your demons. She's going to do it again on a weekly basis.
Yes.
And Lokan Chandra, one of her lamas under her, is going to be doing something next week. It's amazing. So a lot of Dharma stuff is going to be happening online. I'll put the link on your page.
Yeah, on my personal Tenley Wallace page. And to be honest, since you brought it up, I'm going to be vulnerable in how I see a lot. Glenn knows. And Kim knows. Kim and I had similar training, both in our healing modalities and our Tibetan lineage. So anyway, I have always seen a lot, and then I trained heavily for decades to be able to see even more. And the way I see what's happening is the spirits, entities are out of balance. They're hungry. It's just like the world used to be this integrated human, animal, spirit, universe, earth cycles. You know, it used to be this beautiful, integrated, holistic relationship. And humans responded to the ecosystems and the cycles of the universe and the cycles of the earth. Humans responded and were integrated with it and had prayer, and, you know, they were just totally in on the physical and the non-physical realms. And then this modern world came, and then it was humans trying to dominate all of that. And it's caused an incredible unrest, not just in the physical reality, but in the spiritual reality. And the way that I keep seeing what's happening, which is part of why I've been doing extra prayer, and I'm part of why I am staying in, is it's very much like the spirits are out of control right now. And so there's a time in Bali when every year there's actually where the spirits run rampant, and everyone goes inside and hides, holds the blind down, no light, no one goes outside because they know the spirits are running rampant and it's not safe to go outside. So the whole country shuts down. That's what I feel. And I don't want to scare anybody. That's why I keep the stuff to myself. But since you're here and since you said that, Kim, that's one of the pieces I see happening. And Lama Tsotrama Leone, our beautiful Dakini teacher, my original Dakini teacher, Buddhist teacher, she has translated one of the most fierce practices ever created in Tibetan Buddhism, created by a woman, in fact. And it's so powerful and so successful, so unanimously accepted that it's still practiced today. And it's going around the planet like wildfire. And the practice is feeding the demons. And the idea is sometimes the hungry ghosts and the demonic forces are so huge. There's nothing there's no reasonable negotiation with them. They're not going to sit down and like talk it out. They're at war and they're hungry and they're just ravenous and they want it all. So what do? Feed them. Just feed them until they're blissed out and drunk. And then they dissolve back into their original nature, which is freedom and bliss. So that is the practice from Lama Tsultrim, and she's going to be doing it weekly. And I think that is one of the most important things right now is feeding the demons. Whether or not you want to do that.
And just to clarify, the feeding your demons practice that she teaches like this week is very secular. It's not talking about outside demons outside of our own self. It's the demons of fear and anxiety. But there's also, she's going to be leading a chud practice, which is that kind of,
Right. So there's, and just to say, like, it can go wide, but it starts with self, because that's really, part of the root here. Anyway, I kind of went way out there. That's why it's a little vulnerable to go way out there, but I just want to like share like different possibilities and connecting with Lama Tsultrim Leone. She is a total real deal Dakini, full master Tibetan Buddhism, but she has taken this really ancient Buddhist practice and made it completely palatable for all humans. Doesn't matter if you're religious or not. It's not a religious experience. It's a human experience of, what do we have? We have a nervous system, we have emotions, we have past and present. And so it's worth checking out. Thank you, Kim. All right. Wow. I just ran on that tangent. Anyone else before we talk about maybe when and how we want to do this? Or should we talk about when and how we want to do this? Let's talk about when and how we want to do this. Thursday nights are usually good for me. And we can just use this Zoom link again. Anyone else? So you're all muted now, so you can unmute. Let's open a little chat here. Here I go. I'm going to unmute everybody. Unmute.
Thursday's okay with my girl has dance practice till 4:30 on. No, that's Tuesday. Sorry, I don't have anything on Thursday.
Great. We might all just be locked in pretty darn soon. Yeah, I'm thinking like 7:30 might be good. That way we have dinner out of the way. And what do you all think?
Agreed.
Okay, 7:30 Thursdays. How often do we want to do this?
I feel like more than once a week. That would be we'll see right now when we really need it, because one thing is collective thinking, as you know, and positive collective thinking change the world. Doing this more than once a week, I feel like right at this moment could be best for all people.
Yeah, I think it doesn't hurt, like, because the heat's on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The heat's on. How many of you are locking yourselves in and not going out?
Aye.
So I mean, I'm gonna go and get in the wild outdoors, but I think I have enough food to last me a good amount. But I am definitely walking in. So let's definitely wait. What's today? Today's Sunday. Is today Sunday? What's today?
Sunday.
Gee,
Sunday.
good Lord, I'm really locked in. Okay, so let's definitely plan for 7:30 this Thursday. And
How about Thursday and Sunday?
That's good.
That sounds great.
Thursday, 7:30 Thursdays and Sundays. I do know that some European friends are going to want to have a morning session, so there might be a morning session coming up. So anyway, for sure this Thursday, and I'll get back to you about if it's Sunday in the day or Sunday evening. How's that sound, everybody?
Great.
Sounds great.
Great.
Tenley, can you create a group so that you're able to send us messages and reminders?
Gosh, could someone do that?
I'll help you.
Okay, great. I definitely got the Zoom down. The group thing, I'm not sure. I mean, I have my Temple Trouble Fusion page. You can always use that.
You could always just post it on your page because I have access to your page. You
Yeah.
don't, you know, you have a lot of friends, so.
I think let's continue maybe using the thread that I started for now, since so many people responded there. And if we need to create something else, someone can do it. But how about that? So as of now, we'll continue using the thread that I started today that got us here on my Facebook page. If we're not friends yet, friend me and we'll do that. But yeah, so we'll plan, just use this link. This will be the link. Feel free to give it to anybody. So definitely we are on for Thursday at 7:30 right here. And Sunday we'll figure out if we'll do a Monday or an evening. Bueno?
Hey,
Bueno.
Katie.
Tenley?
Yeah.
I don't know if others, but I work with Zoom a lot for my work. And I don't know if it's a free launch, it'll populate a new number every time.
So this number that you have, I pay for. So
This is yours. That's what I wanted to double check. Like this was locked down, purchase.
Yeah, I've been
Okay,
using it for
thanks.
years. Yeah, so once you
Great.
have this is the one. You're good to go.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else? Anything else before we sign off?
How do you want to make this? I'm just curious.
Say
Do
it
you want
again, Teresa.
How big do you make this, or do you want us to invite other people, or what's your?
I think the power in numbers.
Okay.
Honestly, I see this getting really large. I see this getting, I'm going to reach out to my friends in Italy. I want to be connected with them. I'm nervous. Like Italy is big in my heart right now. I want to connect with my friends. Like England is going to be tuning in. Like I don't think we should limit it. Do you? Does anyone?
Bigger the better.
Yeah, it's time to really let the boundaries and limitations of what country is another country. I think those times are dissolving in front of our eyes. Yeah. Okay, beautiful friends. So grateful to see you all here because, like I said, I pray by myself all the time, and it's, takes it next level when we can do it together.
Before we part, Tenley?
Yes, love.
Yes. I'd like to thank you for being so vulnerable and telling us that beautiful understanding that you have.
And you know what? Everyone has to have what's real for them. So I'm not trying to say this is the last say. I'm saying that this is what's real for me. And it's really important that we all discern what is our truth. And that's one of the things that this format, I'm going to help pump you up with your strength for your personal intuition. Yeah. Strength, personal trainer. Yeah. Intuitive trainer. Yeah. The power of prayer. Yeah.
Good one, girl.
Oh, God. You all.
Yeah. Thanks, Tenley. Thanks, everybody.
Good night. Bye.
Blessings. Thank you.
Recording's gonna go up tomorrow. It'll be there for your friends.
Stay safe and healthy, everybody.
You too. Bye.
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 Recording. If you want to stop at that.